An Acting Guide 1. Chapter 1. Essays on Acting. Be an Actor 1. The formal process to be an actor is basic. Get some 8x10 photo of yourself. Make up an acting resume. Submit them to reputable agents in your area by letter, in person, or online until you get one. Do anything to act in order to get better and showcase your work in the area. This is another way to find an agent. Do local theatrical acting, meet some people in the biz, and hopefully an agent either sees you perform and likes you, or a friend from the theater introduces you to an agent he or she knows. A good look will get you in the door but will not sustain you, because there are tons of pretty boys and beautiful girls who want to be movie stars. Let's say 25% of your success or failure is based on your look. Your skill as an actor and your ability to be personable with people is another 25%. Your ability to keep going after all the rejections is another 25%, and 25% is pure luck. Nobody is that special that they're not expendable. There's no rhyme nor reason as to who a director picks from among his top 3 candidates to play the lead in his movie. Nobody is that much greater than anyone else. Besides, aging takes its cut out of everyone. You need an agent because they are the gatekeepers to the entertainment biz insiders who hire actors. They are the filter who weed out the untalented pretenders before they go out for auditions. You pay them 10 to 15% of what you earn. The agent gets the check. He pays you. There are several different types of agents for different types of talent. The main type is the theatrical agent for TV and film. The commercial agent does commercials only. Beyond this, there are agents for every niche in the entertainment industry, from voiceovers to midgets to dancers. A junior actor has one agent. An established actor may have different agents for different types of work. Agents get information about upcoming roles and send their actors out for auditions. The breakdowns is a daily list of most roles being cast available to agents and managers. You can check it out at breakdownservices.com. No matter what, the supply of actors greatly exceeds the demand, so the chances of being a successful actor are quite small. The wear and tear of constant auditions wears everybody down. Actors play parts to entertain, inform, or educate audiences. Directors and producers plan and supervise shows and performances. Actors and actresses entertain and communicate with people through their interpretation of dramatic roles. They rely on facial and verbal expression as well as body motion for their creative affect. Making a character come to life before an audience is a job that has great glamour and fascination. However, acting requires hard work as well as talent. Only a few actors achieve recognition as stars on the stage, in motion pictures, or on TV. Some make a reasonable living, but most struggle just to get into the profession and pick up parts wherever they can. Employment for most actors is transient at best. Most work second jobs to make ends meet. Beginning stage actors generally start in bit parts where they speak a few lines. If successful, they may progress to larger, supporting roles. The good ones serve as understudies for the principals. Film and television actors start in commercials and bit parts and may move into large roles from there. In addition to the actors with speaking parts, extras, who have no lines to deliver, are used in almost all motion pictures and many television shows and theater productions. Some actors move into acting-related jobs as drama coaches or directors and producers of stage, television, radio, or motion picture productions. A few teach drama in colleges and universities. Some professional actors employed by theater companies also teach acting in courses offered to the public. In the winter, most employment opportunities are on the stage or in New York and other large cities. In the summer, stock companies in suburban and resort areas provide employment. Cruise lines and amusement parks also provide opportunities. In addition, many cities have non-profit professional companies such as little theaters, repertory companies, and dinner theaters, which provide opportunities for local amateur talent as well as for professional entertainers. Normally, casts are selected in New York City for shows that go on the road. Be an actor too. Formal dramatic training or acting experience is generally necessary, although some people enter the field without it. Training can be obtained at dramatic arts schools in New York and Los Angeles and at about 600 colleges and universities throughout the country offering bachelor's or higher degrees in dramatic and theater arts. College drama curriculums usually include courses in liberal arts, stage speech and movement, directing, playwriting, play production, design and history of the drama, as well as practical courses in acting. From these, a student develops an appreciation of the great plays and the roles he or she may play or direct. The best way to start is to use local opportunities and to build on them. Local and regional theater experience may help obtain work in New York or Los Angeles. Modeling experience may also be helpful. Actors need talent, creative ability, and training that will enable them to portray different characters. They must have poise, stage presence, and the ability to follow directions. Physical appearance is often a deciding factor in being selected for particular roles. Many professional actors rely on agents or managers to find them performing engagements, negotiate contracts, and plan their careers. The Actors' Equity Association represents stage actors. The Screen Actors Guild and the Screen Extras Guild cover actors in motion pictures, including television, commercials, and films. The American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, AFTRA, represents television and radio performers. These two unions united to be one union. Most stage directors belong to the Society of Stage Directors and Choreographers. Film and television directors belong to the Directors Guild of America. Earnings from acting are low because employment is so irregular. Some well-known actors have salary rates well above the minimums, and the salaries of the few top stars are many times the figure cited, creating a false impression that all actors are highly paid. Many actors who earn more than a set minimum per year are covered by a union health, welfare, and pension fund, including hospitalization insurance to which employers contribute. Under some employment conditions, Actors' Equity and AFTRA members have paid vacations and sick leave. The entertainment field looks so glamorous up on stage or on the screen. The money seems to be easy, the work plentiful as news stations and networks pop up every year, but the truth is that the performing arts is not only hard work, it's also hard to find. There's a lot of competition from people with the same dream you have. Much of it can be knowing the right person, securing the important contact, even being related to someone in the business, but much of the success achieved is by being in the right place at the right time. You have to have the desire to work hard at the craft and work your way up to the level you dream about. Acting is a tough profession. The finished product may look easy up on the screen, but that's the deceptive brilliance of the actor. It takes an immense amount of work to play a role and have it look so natural you think it's easy to bring off. There are hours and hours of rehearsals, take after take of scene shots, a lot of standing around and waiting, in short, anything but what most people think. Will you take direction well? Acting is a job everybody thinks they can do, but many discover that only a few have the patience and the talent to see it through. Do you have this patience? Acting demands patience and total commitment, since aspiring actors must wait for parts or filming schedules, work long hours and travel often. Evening work is a regular part of a stage actor's life. Flawless performances require the tedious memorizing of lines and repetitive rehearsals. Performances on television programs often allow little time for rehearsal, so that the actor needs stamina to withstand the heat of stage or studio lights, the long irregular hours, and the adverse weather conditions that may exist on location. The talent can be developed, but it is the willingness to take whatever parts come up for a while to eventually put yourself in the position of being in the right place at the right time. Acting is not for free, creative types, because everybody tells you what to do. You don't do anything on your own. If you're prepared to give acting the time and effort required, then you're ready to move on to the first step, theater. This is your best chance of building up some acting credits and learning the job. There are plenty of local, regional, community, dinner and summer stock theaters where you can try to land a part or two. Often, if you're good enough, you will start to hear about parts available and shows that are opening and looking for people to try out. Be an actor. 3. In order to become a working actor, you have to get the stars out of your eyes. Don't listen to what anyone tells you about you, either good or bad, and be serious about it, because if you ever get beyond the nightly entertainment tabloid shows on TV, you would see that these are serious people in this industry. They know how cutthroat it is and know that if they're not ever vigilant, their asses are expendable just like everyone else's. There is a big difference between the seeming frivolity and fantasy of a finished movie or TV show and the hard work and uncertainty that goes on behind the scene. Uncertainty for the actors worried about getting fired or the show folding, and uncertainty about funding, since most movie scripts don't get made and all entertainment shows get cancelled at some point in time. If you have cast iron nerves and can handle several years of endless rejection on the hope that you might get a big break, then make an absurdly high paycheck for very little work for a short while before your novelty appeal wears off, then try acting. In order to get in, you need to get an agent first. An agent is the industry's front line. They filter out the people who want to be actors, pick the best and agree to represent them to the insiders in the biz. For this, they get 10 to 15% of what the actor earns. The agent gets paid, takes his or her cut, then pays the actor. The main types of agents are TV and film, commercial, commercials only, dance, print, photos only, voiceover, voice only, theater only. Some actors have one agent for all categories. Some have several agents, each for a different category. The breakdown is the main daily list that some insiders in the biz put together to list all the current casting calls and auditions for roles for actors. Only agents are supposed to get this, not actors, but actors do and try to get a jump on their competition. Breakdownservices.com. For every role, there are potentially hundreds of actors that could fit, but the casting agent has to pick the best in the least amount of time. So for minor roles, they cast almost anybody who has some experience, but for major roles like the lead on the show, the producers and directors could audition 100 or more people. Then if they don't feel right, they will go to other cities looking for someone they feel is right for the role. For the actor, it's tough. Your agent sends your resume and headshot out for roles that he deems might suit you. You are one of hundreds of headshots and resumes other agents send out. Your chances of just being called in for an audition are small. Then when you get called in and are ultimately rejected, it's a heartbreaker for you. In this field, the supply of actors greatly exceeds the demand. You need an 8x10 photo, a resume of acting education and experience. Many people lie on these. A demo DVD of you in action on a past performance. Be yourself. There are roles for every type of person. If you're naturally a nerdy Latina kid, market yourself this way. There are parts for nerdy Latinacoids out there. There are many photo shops in Los Angeles and New York that specialize in making prints for actors in 100 lots. You buy 100 prints at a time. Go to Samuel French and other bookstores with acting books in them in LA and NYC to buy books on acting and on lists of agents. Get 2 different shots of yourself. Commercial shot, for commercials. Theatrical shot for film, TV, and theater. Be smiling and happy in the commercial shot and more serious in the theatrical shot. Either get your one-page acting resume printed on the backside of your photo or staple it to each photo. Put the names of any actors' unions you belong to in your resume. Use an email address and a cell phone, mobile, number if you have one. List your acting credits or make some up. Get some resume tips at castnet.com. Ultimately it comes down to either of 2 things. Do you look like you fit the part? Do you have a presence about yourself that is distinguishable from generic? Do you look interesting? After that, it's, can you act and take direction? There are rules for agents in California. If agents don't want to play by these rules, they don't call themselves agents. They call themselves managers or something like that, but this limits their access within the biz. An agent has an official agreement with at least one or possibly all three of the following unions: SAG, Screen Actors Guild; AFTRA, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists; AEA, Actors Equity Association, for theater actors. Be an actor for. When you audition to an agent for representation, they might ask you to do a monologue, which is a bit they assume you have prepared, or they might ask you to do a cold reading of something they have on hand. Be honest and charming, but not too slick. Agents get tired of phonies trying to impress them. They want somebody real for a change, somebody that looks likable as opposed to being a phony. I say beggars can't be choosers. If you're new, take any agent who will sign you. After you get some success, you can find a more high-profile agent if you want. Many agents will initially agree to represent you on a trial basis. You want a meeting with the minds with your agent. He has to know what kind of roles you want and send you on those kind of auditions. He also has to send you on auditions. Some agents take on new clients then seem to forget about them. Despite having an agent and getting your mug listed at castnet.com, a very common way people get breaks is by meeting people in the biz who give them a break, so you have to be out there meeting new people, hope that one likes you and is well connected in the biz. Your agent has 100 other clients. Don't expect him to work miracles. He will get you auditions, then you have to go and dance like a monkey to try to get the job. Get a backup skill that you can work at while trying to be a working actor. Waiting tables does not pay much money, but you might meet a big-time producer this way. Be an actor. 5. Acting is primarily done by union workers, except for independent projects. There are several organizations you can belong to that will place you in the union, abiding by their guidelines. The most prominent of these is Actors Equity, a labor union of actors, singers, and dancers of the professional theater. Most just call it Equity. It is affiliated with the Associated Actors and Artists of America, which is a segment of the American Federation of Labor and the Congress of Industrial Organizations. Equity is based in New York City and has about 40,000 members. Their phone number is 212-869-8530, actorsequity.org. The Associated Actors and Artists of America phone number is 212-869-0358. The Screen Actors Guild, SAG, was formed in 1935 for the film actors. This union can be contacted at 323-465-4600, Los Angeles, sag.org, sag.com. The other organization of significance is the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, AFTRA, an outgrowth of the American Federation of Radio Artists. Founded in 1952, AFTRA can be reached at 212-532-0800, aftara.org. You can't join these organizations until you've secured your first acting job. Since you will go into your first production without being a member, because of having had no experience, the production will request a waiver from Equity to hire you if you read well and secure a part. Equity will then be in touch to ask if you want to become a member. It's designed to keep the competition limited to union members. Since you can still get a job without union membership, though, if you're good enough, it's not a must that you join. However, in the long run, it is the best, simply basic of the headaches the producers don't want by dealing with non-union actors. Equity members learn about new parts opening up very quickly, and the productions know that the person who has Equity membership has experience. The production will also have to work within Equity's contractual guidelines as to salary, length of rehearsal, number of performances per week, usually no more than 8, working conditions and benefits. Since most commercial theaters, most regional and dinner theaters, and many summer stock theaters are union houses, membership will open up many doors to you versus non-membership. The local newspaper will generally list any open auditions that are being held in the entertainment section. Usually it's Friday where the listing of auditions is marked. Read each carefully to see what type of actors are being sought. Often there will be a specific indication as to gender and age and whether singing or dancing is required for the role. You don't have to wait for the paper. Get a listing of all the theaters and go around to each of them, preferably in the early evening when things are happening. Usually, there is someone responsible there for a production that may be going on. Ask about future tryouts and then stay and watch the show. You can learn about acting from seeing how other actors perform. Watch the nuances and subtleties of their performances. As you understand your craft better, you will be able to appreciate more the quality of individual efforts. While most people will want to read for the lead parts, only a few get them. If it's your very first play, you should choose to read for one of the lesser parts. You will have a better chance of getting that role and you can learn about the entire process of acting and theater just by being a part of a production. This is not the place to be if you have any inhibitions about speaking in public. You will have to forget who you are momentarily. Step outside yourself and let the role take over your movements and voice. Become the part. Later, you will learn how to play to the crowd, especially in a comedy, but for now, think only about the role and that it isn't necessarily you up on the stage, it's the part you're playing. Tryouts are generally a zoo. There are quite a few people reading for only a few parts. The director may know some of the people and may already have cast them or discarded them in his or her mind. The director will not know you, so this has its pluses. You will not initially be discarded from any role simply because you are an unknown. First impressions are everything in the acting profession when it comes to casting. If you're familiar with the work, you won't be thrown by what the director tells you to do. Put some enthusiasm into it. Be the part for all it's worth. Even if it's just the servant role with only 4 lines in the whole play, act as if it's the plum part in the show. This kind of teamwork attitude is going to go a long way towards helping you secure other parts, perhaps in this same theater. You will get a reputation as a team player and you may even receive calls to have you come to a theater to read, since you would be beneficial to the overall production. Don't look for an immediate reaction after reading the part. The director probably won't give you one. You will be thanked and asked to stay, or thanked and asked to call back in the morning or 2 days from now when casting is set. Being asked to stay likely means the director was initially impressed and wants to hear you again. Study the production while you're waiting. Talk to others about their past credits. Start to make friends. If you don't get a role first time out, don't worry about it. Rejection is part of the business and you will need to dig in and work harder at it. It may be that you weren't right for any of the parts in one play. Sometimes the director is seeking a specific look for a role and this may eliminate you no matter how well you read. Don't try to read too much into a director's choices. Simply go on to the next tryout and keep practicing your lines in front of the mirror. Live theater is the ideal way to learn how to act. There's no room for lazy performances that you can reshoot like film or television. You can make a living going from theater to theater after paying parts. It's a nomadic profession, but those who love it would not change places with anyone. There are touring companies that play in a city for a night or 2 or perhaps a whole week before packing it up and taking it on the road once again. The stage manager is the director's assistant and is generally responsible for all of the backstage activities, from cueing the lights and sound effects to warning actors and actresses to get to their assigned positions. It's a full-time job and one which requires an understanding of all the essential elements of a production. It may be something you'd like if you find acting isn't your thing. An agent helps, but for initial work it's not necessary. For theater, agency representation may not be necessary to work at a local and regional level. After you've built up a lot of credits, you will have something of interest to offer an agent. The agent can then have a better idea of where to place you and where to look for places. An agent can provide a lot of assistance in getting you auditions you wouldn't have heard of otherwise. Their incentive is that they will get a small percentage of your fee. If you're looking for an agent, put together an acting resume. List your essential background credits, where you've acted, your union affiliation, your personal information such as age, height, weight, etc. List any special abilities you might have, such as dancing, singing, writing, languages, etc. Get a series of photographs done and attach the best of those to your resume. Check with your local union office, which maintains a list of recommended agents for you to contact. Other opportunities in the film business include documentaries, business films, trade films, educational films, news programs, government films, etc. The American Film Institute, 92021 Northwestern Avenue, LA, CA 90027, AFI.org, sells a book about college courses in the film industry as well as other books. Read the trade magazines. Even if you go to college and get a few degrees in drama or fine arts, it's no guarantee of success. You're still just another starving actor in LA. If you're going to college for drama, you should send off headshots and your resume to agents before you go to LA so that you might get an agent before you get there.